There we go. Oh dear, man. Why would it do that? Are we on, sir? We're flashing red. There we go. There you go, when it does pop up. I don't know what happened there. I really don't know. We're not going to be here much longer, don't worry, but I don't like abrupt endings and people just left clueless going, what the hell happened there? Some sort of keyword or trigger word activated this to just stop. Yet on looking back, I can't see what it was. So we've just gone into the settings on the camera and it's got like voice activations on, so I've just switched them off. But basically we're there talking and saying what we're saying, all of a sudden it comes up on the screen. That's a WRAP. I'm not going to say in case something else triggers. Even though I've just turned the setting off, I don't trust it now, you know. But yeah, it come up, just said, yeah, that's it. I was like, okay. So you've just ended my stream for no apparent reason. Thank you. And even though it was random talk and Ghostface this and something else that, it's not good, because you don't want people just watching, listening and then going, well, why has it just stopped? Even though it may not be the latest news of the best information of whatever it's related to, you know, I don't know, man. Bloody thing. There's always something with modern technology, honestly. Noticing it more and more with regards to certain things just in life in general, whether it's at work, whether it's in the car, whether it's whatever. And all cars now, look at these cars now, some of them that still aren't electric, like mine's a diesel car, you know. But even then, it's had such a weird fault with it lately, and it's not this, it's not that, it's the BCM. You're like, what the hell's the BCM? And my car has an ECM, which is an engine control module, so it runs perfectly fine. But it also has a BCM, which is a body control module. You think, what's a body control module? But the body control module does headlights, wipers, door locks, windows up and down, you know, interior lighting, whether it's day or night, you know. There's a light normally around the edge of the gear stick. There's two little lights on both doors that light up red and just have a little faint glow in the dark, you know. There's all these things on it that require this BCM to do what it does and talk to all the systems. And on my BCM recently, for reasons unknown, one of the chips blew. It blew half the chip, but not the other half. On checking it with a multimeter, half of it's fine, the other half does nothing. They're like, well, why would it do that? And yeah, it just randomly blew a chip, which is called a 104 chip or a 104 resistor. And then there's what's called a 1181 resistor, which is next to it. They also got covered in shit when whatever it did and blew, you know. And it caused the car to act erratically with regards to electrical systems. So the electrical systems, daytime running lights were flashing like it was having an epileptic fit, you know. It was flashing like a strobe. I was like, why are the DRLs randomly flashing on and off when nobody's touching anything and the keys are out of the car, you know? Why is it like that? Hi. Richie! This is my friend Richie. How many Richies do you know? Yes, Screenforce Steelbook. I can't afford it at the minute, but yeah, I'll have to see if I can get one. In the Dark with Tim Wagstaff. Tim? That's not my name. Tim Wagstaff, yes. You put an E on the end, Aaron. Yeah. No, I was streaming before, and for some reason this bloody camera just ended it. Came up with a thing on the screen, said, right, that's a wrap. I was like, what do you mean that's a wrap? I ain't finished, bastard. So I've had to come back on and restart the goddamn thing, which took a while. I had to restart the phone because it won't connect to the Wi-Fi. I've did a personal hotspot on my phone to it to connect to that, which it connected to, but then all of a sudden it didn't want to connect. I was like, let's just restart the bloody phone. But yeah, the camera ended it, and then the phone went funny. I was like, okay, it's had a knock-on effect here, bloody thing. But no, that's alright, Mr. Schneider, I know. Anyway, as I said on the stream earlier, we did have a chat with RJ yesterday, although brief because it was interrupted. Yeah, we had a chat, we're waiting for some updated information on the Scary Movie masks with regards to moulds, creations, what was used in the film, because I've still not seen the new Scary Movie. I was in two minds of going this weekend. I don't know. What are you doing, Tiggy? It's Tigger. Jeez, I've got to... Let's put the camera. Can you see the cat there? You got him here, see him behind? The mummy cat's on the end of the sofa. They don't normally do this with me. But yeah, we've been inquiring about Scary Movie masks that are coming out, as well as a Scary Movie mask that was used on set. And there's already assumptions in Facebook groups saying, well, I've heard from someone at Funworld that said blah blah blah. No, you're full of shit. That wasn't the case. As on this group, some posts went up. I heard that the Scary Movie screen use mask with this. And there wasn't. So all I got told was I can't release information at this time with regards to Scary Movie mask types and what was used, what mold, blah 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 blah. In the future, we shall find out and be allowed to release information. But yes. Aside from that, we eagerly wait for the update on that information, and we'll broadcast it when we're allowed to on the stream. But yeah, there you go. Meanwhile, yes, we're just waiting eagerly for this anniversary recreated Fantastic Faces mask, Double Dimple. It can't get here quick enough, can it? It really can't. It cannot get here quick enough. It needs to get a move on. But yeah, I have pre-ordered, even though I've ordered the mask for myself, 48 in a box, well 48 total. I've ordered 4 boxes of 12 masks, because that's how they'll probably come with the distributors. So I've ordered 48 30th anniversary Fantastics, and they're going to cost a bit, I can tell you that. And everything else I've ordered, I've got to cancel because of job situation and wages drop. We'll be lucky if I can afford the 30th anniversaries, but we should be able to do it. I don't know. I'll get 2 of those new mould Scary Movie masks. One to fully paint in the nose, so it's the Scary Movie 1 style. Well, I can understand that. The other default for the Scary Movie 6 style. I know they're slightly different, but making a latex one, okay. Time consuming process, mould's not my specialty. Well, I understand that, yeah, I can see the reasoning. It's when people butcher the hell out of other masks as well. You know, how many times have I seen lately someone saying, I want devil face masks. Anyone's got devil face, I want them. I'll pay for them, of course, because I want to customize and do this and do, and you see some of the customizations, you're like, why the hell would you do that to a mask? Because they're pathetic. And then there's some that may be a bit creative, and you're like, ah, interesting. But some of them, you're like, why would you fuck up a mask like that? That's your money you've wasted, and time and effort to make it look pathetic. Of something that's so, you know, got such a scowl on its face in the first place, which is what makes it scary, and you just made it have a subtle effect. So yeah, when we see things like that, I just think, why did you just fuck up a mask? But as people will say, free country. They paid for the masks. They'll do what they want with the masks. Okay, fine. But some of them are like, how would you think that anybody on Facebook groups, Instagram, or wherever would have an interest in what you've just done to that mask? Because it looks, so bad. And I see that sometimes with KMB creations. A post goes up, recreated KMB, new sculpt. They're doing the moulding process, whatever. And they're doing this KMB whatever type that they're going to nickname it something. KMB by so-and-so, KMB this, KMB, okay, fine. And then you see it progressing. And while they have a want to create it and try to be creative and want to succeed, they really don't. It's just one of the worst looking masks you've ever seen, you know what I mean? I've seen it over the years more with KMB types than any other mask. And the one I've seen after that that's just as bad is the Doofy, the killer mask from the original Scary Movie. There's some really good ones out there. I've got 2 really good ones. My 2 really good ones were off somebody that's remaining anonymous, but at the same time, the 2 that was done were based off particular looks in particular scenes. So one of mine looks exactly like the mask where Buffy has her head chopped off, and another one looks exactly like the mask in whatever the other scene was, I forget, because there were little differences in different masks, weren't there? But yeah, with regards to some of these KMBs, you can see just from the first casting that thing is a piece of shit. And you think, well, do you go on this post and then put, I'm sorry mate, no offence, but that is just crap. Because then you just start a war, don't you, sometimes? So many times I look now, I just go, oh my god, seriously, you think that's good? Let's just continue, next page, next group, next post, whatever, And so it was the same with the Scary Movie Killer Mask. Again, not the Scary Movie 6, the normal one, the original. You'd see someone, you go, oh my fucking god. The mouth is wrong, the nose is fucked, the eyes are absolute cack. What the fuck are you thinking to think that looks accurate? Again, do you go on, do you post, do you comment, do you give honest opinion? No, I just carry on. Because one, I can't do that kind of creativity and talent with my hands. I'm not talented like that to make masks. I can do a website, yeah. I can do some Photoshop, yeah. I do a bit of video editing, okay. Not perfect video editing, but I can do what I want to do. I need to know a lot more, but still I can edit as I want to edit if I do a new video. More so filming locations based. But yeah, still, some of these replicas over the years have been absolutely outstanding, Brilliant KMB replicas. Brilliant Scary Movie Killer Mask, as in the 2000 Scary Movie, And some people then don't create or try and do a ghost face sculpt. They just do something else, which is, in some cases, find a white plastic mask and customize it. Or find a devil face and alter it, as we said earlier. Or do something with a zombie mask. Or some people in the past got a skelly face and they enhanced the black lines in the details of the cracks in the face, and Jesus, it looked brilliant, So some things can be really nice, and others are just trying too hard that it's just knackered from the start, Let me check the chat, sorry. Don't really modify them super heavily. Want to do a dye of an EU to make it blue. Oh yeah, I've seen somebody do like a baby blue EU recently as well, like a baby bluish tone. I did want to get a metallic blue from back in the day, but I haven't found one. Yeah, you haven't found one. I've got a few metallics. I don't know what spares I've got. I'd have to look. It depends what mould you're looking for as well, Mr. Schneider. Like, I'm trying to think what spare metallics I've got. But I'd always try and get 2 sets of metallics every year when there was you go more from 2010 onwards. It's also curious to make a Scream 7 mask. Oh dear, we covered this earlier on the original stream, on the stream before this, before the camera cut us off. I don't know why people are nicknaming these masks as they are. Why do you call it a Scream 7 mask? It isn't a Scream 7 mask. Since I do have an April to June 24 EU. Oh dear. Mr. Schneider, come on, don't fall into this trap. Whether it's an April to June 24, whether it's an October, December 2025, whether it's a January to March 2026, whether it's a Jan to March 2020, it doesn't matter. They're all made the same, mate. They're all made the same. EUs are in Foshan, where the factory is, or in some cases, what they call Yangjiang, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So, as long as you're purchasing EUs, not the big EUs, the standard EUs, then it doesn't. You can't really categorise them as Scream 5, 6, 7 masks. It doesn't matter. EUs, the normal mould, are several movie masks all in one, aren't they? EU stamps first came into the franchise in Scream 3. We had the purple and black ASIS mask that was in Scream 3, which had the sort of, seemed to have the thinner eyes with the way the eyeliner was done, but it was still an EU mask. But yes, it does have little differences in the overall look, not the mould, the overall look. But then yes, Scream 3, Scream 4, 5, 6, 7 have all used EU stamp masks. Normal EU stamp masks, normal non-big EU masks, you know, not raised stamp masks, normal EU masks, you know what I mean. And yes, of course, Screen 3 ASIS types was also there, or they would have had that header. And then yes, Screen 4, of course, the TD reshoot, which was discontinued 2013. Why, I'll never know, because that should have stayed. And then yes, Scream 5, yeah, they put ultra whites into the chin. Scream 6, they've probably done the same here and there. It's not ever something that's fully known unless you're a crew member. Like Scream 5, we had a fan from the groups called Christian Obando, and Christian Obando was a fan just like the rest of us. Next thing you know, he's got a job on the set of Scream 5. So, how the fuck did he pull that off? Yeah, I don't know what he did, but you know, he was working on it, and it was because of him and somebody else in the crew, which I forget the name, that we found out facts like that. You know, oh, there's an ultra white shoved in as well. They cut it in half, in it went. You know, we wouldn't have known that otherwise. You know. Plus, we had come back. Plus, I believe on Screen 5, Nate Reagan was in contact with somebody on the crew as well. So again, questions were asked. Scream 6, it was totally the opposite. We had no one there, no one in contact. Scream 7 was the same, you know. I'm not even sure who RJ has to talk to when there is a filming process, and whether he does go in detail about the mask, or whether he just says, right, there's a box on the way, speak to you soon, to the studio execs, you know. Whether he actually does talk to anyone in the costume or wardrobe or props, you know. I don't know if he does. I don't think he does. But yeah, when we see these, oh, I need April to June 2024 Scream 7 Scream, well, no, calm down. It It doesn't matter the manufacturer. What does matter is, as long as it's Foshan or Yangjing, as I say, I think that's how I pronounce it, that's your main EU factories. They're the ones that kick out the nice vanilla smell, the nice beautiful EU original mould. And yes, would you believe even today, from a 90s EU mask, which I do own many, till a up-to-date 2026 EU mask, they still have same particular marks and lines and identifiable things in the mould that are seeable under an LED torch. If you want to see it a bit clearer, just get it in the reflection of the sunlight, right, you'll see them. More so in the mouth area, but you can still see the same things in the mask today that existed in the 90s. So basically, how and why the EU ended up being the longest lasting mould / mask type to be mass produced and still survive, you know, with the books or the masters is, you know, a miracle. Because I know they've got loads. You know, there was a picture a while ago in 2010, yeah, say a while ago, and RJ says, "Oh, I have a mother mould from the factory. Here's a picture for you all, courtesy of Funworld." And it was 3 moulds of EUs all next to each other. And it said, I think it's on my mass page on the site, but unfortunately the site's down at the minute due to bandwidth exceeded. So sorry about that. Not like I can do at this particular point, which is not pleasing. But yes, he says, yes, mother mould on this picture. It says, mould on the right is the main mould. The 2 moulds on the left are there due to volume and, you know, demand. So the masks have become that much in demand, even more so in 2010, that the mother mould wasn't doing enough. They had to do copies of the mother mould, 2 more, to keep up with demand. So yeah, it had this picture of the 3 casts, the 3 books, the 3 mother moulds of the main EU masks. And yeah, it was there on the picture. Oh, you could see they were well used. And this is what got me thinking: how did they survive? You know, everything wears out because I'm still seeing the same marks on masks today that were there in the 90s. And I want about identifiable marks, you know. So yeah, the EU, the main EU stamp, is one of the longest surviving masters, moulds, types, whatever, mass produced for the last 20 odd years, you know. To say 97, 98, you know, you're coming up to 30 years of that mass type, for God's sake. And here we are with a TD reshoot, mid to late 90s approximate creation, up to 2013, then it's gone. You're like, come on, if the EU's lasted that long, why not the reshoot as well, you know, the TD. Let me just see the comments. Sorry, I know you've typed. They did have metallic EUs, right? Or were those rare? Yeah, they did have metallic EUs. So when the metallics first came in the late 90s, they were mainly MK stamps, as I'm sure some know. MK stamps were the MK squinties. Of course, there's a couple of different MKs, as we know. RDS lookalike, RDS, MK squinty itself, etc., etc. And yes, as time progressed, approximately, and I say approximately, 2006-ish, EU stamps were appearing with metallics. And I know this because I had a friend of mine in 2007 and 8 that was a mechanic at the Porsche garage, of all the places, a Porsche garage. And I had a problem with my car. I says, please, you and your mechanic mates come round, have a look at my car, because it needs something doing. And anyway, they were there one day at my house, bonnet up, doing this stuff on the car. And he went to his car to get a tool. So, I need something for my car. So, okay. And he opened the boot, and there it was, a red metallic EU stamp. I says, where'd you get this mask? He goes, what do you mean? I says, is this a real mask? Again, this is just after I started my website, you know. I collected the odd mask then, but I didn't really care. I'd got the odd white mask and costume, a lot of fake knives, the Fun World ones, you know, bleeding knife, glow knife. But I didn't have much of a collection. Probably had about 10 masks, if that. EUs, ASIS EUs, as in tag types. Black and red headers, a couple of bleeding masks, and that was it. So when I saw this metallic, I was like, shit, is that a real mask? Because then I wasn't really in the know. I wasn't looking into the types as much. I just started the site and was starting to learn lots of different things. But I saw this red metallic and I was like, what the fuck? He goes, oh, no, it's my mate's mask, put it back. I said, no, I need to see this, is it real or not? And I went to the back of the chin straight away. Easter Unlimited ink, based in China. I was like, ah. I looked at the shroud, because you could tell it had been used a bit, you know, someone had some fun, didn't give a shit about it. A couple of scuffs. But yeah, red metallic. I says, oh, cheers, mate, I'll have it. No, it's my mate's, you can't have it. I says, is it real? He goes, yeah, it's real. Says, where's the tag off the top? Oh, I don't know, it's his. Says, he cut it straight off. He wanted to mess about with it, he's been scaring people. I was like, okay, fine. So yeah, that was 2006-07, because he'd had that in his car about a year or so, I think he'd said. So around that time, EUs were out there. So when the